guys can decide collectively how you want to do it.
We'll just roll call it. Should be easy enough. All right. I call to order the Houston regular city council meeting for June 11th, 2026 at 6:04 p.m.
I'll do roll call. Councilmember Johansson, here. Councilmember Lewis. Councilmember Courtney. Here. Councilmember Mitchell.
Here.
Councilmember Khan.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Here.
Mayor Cole.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Someone put the invocation.
Nope.
Fair enough. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty, justice for all.
All right. Start with the approval of the agenda. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Oh, you know what? I think there was one. There is a correction for a date. Where is it? Introduction of ordinances. It says the public hearing, sets the public hearing for June 11th, 2026. It should be July 9th.
This is 7B.
This is 8A. 8A. That was the one I caught. Is that what you saw too? Okay. Okay, that was it. That was my mistake.
We don't need an amendment for that,
No.
right?
No.
All right.
So I meant to tell you guys, sorry. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. Councilmember Johansson? Aye. Councilmember Mitchell?
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis?
Aye.
Councilmember Khan?
Aye.
Did I ask you? I did not. Councilmember Courtney?
Aye.
Mayor Cole?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. We will start with the selection of the new logo for the city. And we didn't necessarily plan super well for 3 of the council members to be out. The intention was to fill out these little forms, hand them in and tally the vote, but that doesn't work well on the phone. So we're just gonna roll call it. So the logos, in the order that they are in your sheets, for those that are on the phone, we'll just refer to them as 1, 2, and 3. And then go ahead and roll call what your vote is for the new logo. And with that, I will leave that to the clerk.
I have a quick question. Did we have a tally of how the citizenry voted?
Yes. Do you have that, Charlie? Yep.
So we had 3 votes for item number 1. We had 1 vote for item number 2, and then we had 38 votes for item number 3.
Could you guys hear him?
Yes, I did.
And those were gathered at the 60th birthday. We had members of the community write which ones they selected and liked the most. So that's basically what that's from.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the numbers again? What was it?
Yeah, so logo number 1 had 3 votes. Logo number 2 had 1 vote. And then logo number 3 had 38.
38. Okay. Okay.
Do you want us?
I
to
wonder,
say-
what if I just call on you guys and you just say which one you want?
Right. It's just, you just
Does that make
treat it
it-
like a roll call and 1, 2, or 3 is the answers, right?
Yeah,
Seems
does
most,
that work?
I think so.
Do you guys understand?
I do.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Councilmember Khan, 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Councilmember Mitchell, 1, 2, or 3?
So number 3.
Mayor Cole, 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Councilmember Courtney, 1, 2, or 3?
I put number 2.
Councilmember Lewis, 1, 2, or 3? Councilmember Johansson, 1, 2, or 3? 2. Deputy Mayor Brazel, 1, 2, or 3?
3.
The winner is number 3, 5, with a vote of 5, and the second place was number 2 with 2 votes.
Third place will be number 1.
Third place is number 3 with the moose. Number
Number
1,
1.
or excuse me, number 1.
Are we gonna know a little bit more of a background on the individuals?
I don't know. Maybe wait till,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you want us to announce it now, or do you want to wait till the July meeting?
No, go ahead and announce it now, who the artists are.
Who the artists are? Go ahead.
Okay, so-
All 3 of them.
I know number 3 is Claire Childs from Houston. The other 2, I have to go get my sheet real fast. Give me 1 second.
Well, at the July meeting, we'll recognize these folks.
So give me 1 second, sorry. So number 2 would be Samantha Raymond. Does not state where she's from. Oh, there she is. All right. Well, hello. And we have one more. Give me 1 second. I was having issues with our computer. And the first logo was by David E. Becker. And it does not say where he is from. We do have further information, like descriptions of what they are, and I printed those out with the logos over there. So those are what came with the logos. So that's what we have.
Okay, well, at the July meeting, if you can come back, we'll have a presentation ceremony for the contestants. Thanks.
Thank you for entering your logo.
Yes.
It's very nice.
I love your chickpea.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right, moving on to
They were
reports
all
and
awesome.
correspondence. Senator Rauscher's not calling in. We've got nobody from the assembly. The mayor's report. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to the mayor's report, Carter?
Yes, I actually met with our city attorney via phone today for about an hour and a half, going over the last little bits preparation for trial next week with Mr. Stanistreet. I will be reporting either late Wednesday or early Thursday to the council on the results of that.
All right. I don't see Lori for Parks and Rec or for Planning and Zoning. Nobody from Parks and Rec. Department reports. Anything to add to the clerk's report, Tom?
Yes, I have something to read. To the mayor and city council of Houston, Alaska, I gladly find myself in unfamiliar territory addressing you. In my past addresses to the council, I have mostly complained about the continuing bad conditions of the road we live on, which is Wonderland Drive. But today I come to you with compliments, praise, and gratitude for our city administration and workforce. On Monday, June 8th, a fire broke out in the trees on the lakeside of Bear Paw Lake on our road, and it was developing rapidly. The winds were blowing the flames in the direction of our home. Houston Fire Department was on scene in just under 5 minutes and fighting the growing blaze. In addition, they orchestrated additional support from Meadow Lakes, Willow, and state fire responders, including helicopter and hotshot support. This quick and professional response significantly minimized the potential damage to our neighborhood. About 2 weeks prior to the fire, Houston Public Works had graded Wonderland Drive better than it had been done in my memory during the time I have lived at the end of the road. Gone were the deep and numerous potholes, large rocks, and washboard conditions. In my opinion, this made the fire department's response faster and safer. Prior to the road graders' work, squatters on Wonderland Drive had pulled 2 RVs, a camp trailer, and an enclosed trailer onto the roadway, making it difficult to grade the road for 2 cars to even pass through. The Houston City Administration actively pursued the removal of this trash from our roadway with the assistance of the state troopers and other entities. My wife and I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the City of Houston, its employees, and the Houston Fire Department in their efforts to keep our city safe and improved for now and in the future. Sincerely, Donald and Vicki Grimes.
That's awesome. Clerk, could you get a copy of that to the senator's offices too?
Sure.
All right. Moving along. Anything to add to the finance report? Treasurer? All right. Chief? All right. Moving on to public participation. We don't have anybody sign up, did we?
No, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's not our game to do.
Nope.
Yeah, for anybody.
Through all the stuff that you guys are doing for our city, which is fantastic, don't forget about your constituents and the need for us to get natural gas. So please keep that in your mind.
Welcome back for the summer, Carla. All right, public hearing.
Well, you got another.
Oh, I apologize. Press the button, it'll turn green for you.
My name is Samantha Raymond. We just moved to Houston about 2 years ago. I entered the seal contest since we moved. It feels appropriate. I have to say, as an artist, and I was very discouraged with the lack of organization that was presented. And I just moved here. This is the first city council meeting I've been to. But it was very discouraging to see the lack of organization, lack of communication, to see where my hard work was. It was supposed to be more information to come when it was supposed to be voted for. And I feel like it kind of disrespected all the artists who were involved. And then now they just come to a vote here. Congratulations to Claire, I believe her name was, for first place, but it was just very disorganized, and I don't feel like anyone knew what was going on how to vote or anything. There was no clarification that it was going to be voted on by public opinion at the birthday party for the 60th. When the designs were submitted, there was no information saying that you should have put a 60th banner around the outside. It kind of made us look like we didn't know what we were doing as artists or designers, whatever level you put yourself as. And it was a little disrespectful. So maybe, I don't know, another 60 years or whatnot, a little bit more consideration for how these people who spill their guts out in a design for their city, what they believe in, how they view it, gets treated with a little bit more respect than just sending it and getting public opinion of people who don't live here and didn't submit a design and work hard on it. Just a little bit more clarification maybe next time for anything like this. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none? All right. 2608. All right, moving on to ordinance number 2608. You want to read the,
Now you have to
oh,
first.
all right. We will open the public hearing for resolution 26-08
Ordinance.
I'm sorry, ordinance 2608 at 6:25.
Christine Nelson. I commented at the meeting last time about the 160-hour increase from the 100, I think it was 100 hours that we had previously. I'm very concerned that increasing it to 160 hours is going to have the potential to set us up for a bad situation down the road. As it stands right now, and we all know this, on the current council, there's only one available individual, well, maybe two, but one primarily that could even fill that role. And so when the election rolls around, if that individual isn't reelected and then we have our next council, can we guarantee that somebody is going to be able to work 160 hours? That raises a lot of questions, because you could set yourself in the position where you have no mayor because you have nobody available that can work a full-time job, because everybody has full-time jobs already. So I would really ask that you really, really think about that 160-hour requirement. I'm all for a fair wage, 15 bucks an hour. Either it's volunteer or it's a fair wage. 15 bucks an hour is not. But 160-hour requirement, that's a full-time job, and I don't know that we're going to be able to meet that. So I'd ask you to really think about that. Thanks.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 6:27.
I can read it, and then you can make a motion, or you can make a motion and I can read it.
All right.
However you want to.
I will make a motion to approve ordinance 26-08.
I'll second.
Ordinance number 20.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, we heard you, Carter.
Okay, thanks.
Ordinance number 26-08, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code 2.04.090B, administrative duties. As chief administrator, the mayor shall, and 2.04.090C, compensation. The mayor shall receive monthly compensation provided they are actively working for the city up to 160 hours per month.
I have an amendment to 26-08. Make a motion to amend ordinance 26-08, striking on line 73, the words rate equal to 1%, and replace those words with a prorated rate. It just didn't work out mathematically at 1%. It was a kind of a math snafu that didn't make any sense. So I think it just makes more sense to prorate it and call it that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
It's a good amendment.
So prorate the monthly compensation multiplied by the number of hours.
Yeah, thank you for catching that, Jeff. I noticed that too, and I think that is a very necessary change.
Yeah, I didn't make it out of chambers last month without like 3 different people saying that math doesn't math. And they're right, it doesn't. I remember she mentioned that.
guys done?
Everybody good?
In that
You done?
amendment, yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded to amend ordinance number 2608, striking on line 73, the words rate equal to 1% and replacing it with prorated, or excuse me, prorated rate. Councilmember Lewis. Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney. Yes.
Aye.
Councilmember Khan.
Aye.
Mayor Cole,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel,
Aye.
motion carries. Any other amendments? Before we vote on the main motion?
Any more amendments?
Yeah, do you have anything else? Okay. Okay, we're voting on the main motion as amended. Motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 26-08, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code 2.04090B, administrative duties. As chief administrator, the mayor shall, and 2.04090C, compensation. The mayor shall receive monthly compensation provided they are actively working for the city up to 160 hours per month. Councilmember Courtney.
Nay.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson.
Nay.
Councilmember Khan.
Aye.
Mayor Cole.
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis. Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Aye.
Motion carries 4 yeas, 3 nays.
All right, moving on to ordinance 26-10. An ordinance of the Houston City Council providing for the adoption of the annual budget for fiscal year July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027, and capital improvement plan 6 years, 2026 through 2032, and appropriating funds to carry out said budgets. Make a motion to approve ordinance 26 I'm sorry, we need to open the public hearing for ordinance 26-10 at 6:34. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody like to speak on 26-10? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing at 6:35. I will make a motion to approve ordinance 26-10.
I'll second.
I have another amendment for this one. Motion to amend ordinance 2610, striking the amount on line 30 and replacing it with 149,771.66. And the reason for that is the cabin sold. Adding $25,000 to the budget. So it was just to
Yeah,
include
and
include those funds in the budget for next year. Carter?
what, yeah, I was gonna say, and the main reason we've added a, fire, apparatus for another quick reactionary truck. And, that cabin will help fund that.
Did I get a second?
Yes, I believe the mayor seconded.
Carter, they couldn't hear you very well. Do you mind if Christian states why?
Excuse me?
Do you mind if Christian speaks to the ordinance because they couldn't hear you very well?
Tommy, I can't hardly hear you.
Mayor Cole, this is Chief Hartley. Are you okay with me explaining it? Because you're not coming through the speakers here very clearly either.
Yeah, absolutely, Chief. And please let them know this has been a plan of yours for over 2 years. And that the new truck that we purchased last year was the first piece of it.
So to that effect, to the council through the deputy mayor, last year, the city council had approved they had authorized the sale of the cabin to use toward capital purchases. By city code, the sale of any city land or any city facility, like a log cabin, must go into the capital budget. That's just where the money goes. Last year, when it was proposed, it was to do firefighting equipment. That was funded through a different means because the sale wasn't successful. It didn't meet the reserve price. The winning bidder on that actually came forward to the city and offered to pay the reserve price as the winning bidder. And so the mayor accepted that and the cabin was sold. The purpose of what we're trying to do with the money is to purchase a slide-in quick response wildfire. It's a skid unit. It goes in the back of a pickup so that we can attack wildfires quicker. We have one pickup that is set up with that. This would give us a second vehicle, so we would have one at each station. The wildfire that we had over off Bear Paw Lake just this week would have very much benefited from that because when the fire happened, Battalion Chief Hood and myself were down at Fire Station 9-2. There is no brush truck at that facility. So he had to come all the way up here to this station to grab that truck and then bring it to the scene. So even though our response time was really good, it could have been even better had we had one at each station. So the proposal was to accept these funds and then use that to purchase the slide-in unit that is available. It's in the state. We can just drive up there and pick it up tomorrow. And we don't have to wait 6 to 9 months like we would if we heard purchase brand new off the market. This is still a brand new unit. The fire department that purchased it purchased the wrong size. They bought an 8-foot skid unit for a 6-foot bed pickup. So we get to save a little bit of money on the shipment of it, and it puts it in service for us literally Monday. It'll be in service. The other money above the $19,000 for the vehicle itself will be used to purchase the supplies and equipment to fully outfit it. So that's where that $25,000 would go.
Any other questions, discussion? Let's vote.
Carter.
I think Carter.
Motion's been made and seconded to amend ordinance number 26-10, striking the dollar amount on line 30 and replacing it with $149,771.66. Councilmember Johansson?
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney?
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis? Councilmember Khan?
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell?
Aye.
Mayor Cole?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Any other amendments?
Yes, I have one. I'd like to propose an amendment to the budget by adding a revenue line titled municipal land sale with expected revenue of $500,000 to be deposited into the capital account and reserved for later council appropriation towards Department of Public Safety needs. I'm doing this because that's right, sorry.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. So the Department of Public Safety has significant capital needs that affect responder safety and community protection. The sale of various City of Houston land will help create a funding path for long needed vehicles. We've got vehicles that are from 1997. They're still doing the job, but we need to upgrade. We need to get newer equipment. We need to fix our facilities. We need safety upgrades. By approaching it this way with the land sales, we aren't going to have to increase sales tax for the public. We're not going to have to think about property taxes. We're not going to have to put another burden on the citizens of the city while still trying to keep our fire department running at a safe and upgraded level. Houston Code provides that the land sale revenue goes to the capital account, which is used for new assets, replacements, capital projects. And this budget line will recognize that without spending all of that money. We've got some city-owned parcels that the staff can bring back next month, hopefully a list of undeveloped and marketable city-owned parcels whose best public interest use may be residential development. As our city grows, we definitely need more residential lots to house people that are looking at coming at our town. And any actual sales have to come back through the required land sale process, including parcel review, professional appraisal, or other allowed valuation, public notice, council approval, and a separate appropriation before money is spent. So I'm just asking us to recognize a realistic revenue source and direct staff to identify city-owned land that can be sold in the public interest. And once any land sales are complete, then we can appropriate the actual revenue for specific public safety purchases. And this process would let us improve public safety, support housing, and protect the taxpayers at the same time. So that is my reasoning behind this amendment.
I think it's a wonderful idea, and I'll do what I can do to support it.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Thing to read. Motion's been made and seconded to amend ordinance 26-10 by adding a revenue line titled municipal land sale with expected revenue of $500,000 to be deposited into the capital account and reserved for later council appropriations towards Department of Public Safety capital needs. Councilmember Lewis. Councilmember Khan.
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson.
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney.
Aye.
Mayor Cole.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Childs. Or excuse me. Oh, wow.
That was
Deputy
two
Mayor.
ago.
Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Aye.
Sorry. That was motion carries unanimously. Okay, are there any others? Nope. Okay, we're going to vote on the main motion as amended.
One more item.
Oh.
The year is wrong. On 15 and 19. Line 15 and 19, 27, not 26. Just clerical, copy paste probably from next year.
Ending June 30, 27.
I think we have the Jeff's amendments to vote on.
If that's just clerical, we can just change that, right?
Yeah.
The councils will,
We have
Yeah.
to amend that to
Yeah.
make it clerical.
No, there's the June dates in section 3.
15 and 19, lines 15 and 19 both say June 30, 2026 instead of 27.
we should fix it. It's clerical, but it can be fixed.
I mean, you can make a motion or we can just fix it as a clerical error.
I mean, it doesn't change the substance of it.
No.
Oh, it's just a clerical.
3 amendments though on it, doesn't have to wait till next week, next month?
No, that's just clerical. It's not a substantial,
Whatever streamlines it.
yeah, that's just
as
clerical.
long as
It's
we
just, all right, so we'll just.
Yeah, we'll fix that. Thank you. Okay,
Main motion is amended.
main motion as amended. Ordinance number 26-0-10, an ordinance of the Houston City Council providing for the adoption of the annual budget for fiscal year July 1, 2026 through June 30, 2027, and capital improvement plan, 6 years, 2026 through 2032, and appropriating funds to carry out said budget. Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson,
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis.
Aye.
Councilmember Khan,
Aye.
Mayor Cole,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, we will open the public hearing for ordinance 26-11, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code Title 10, Land Use Regulations, for the purpose of creating a new chapter 10.15, prohibiting the construction, establishment, and operation of data centers within the city limits of Houston, Alaska, and adding the penalty for violation to HMC 1.16, general penalty.
Time.
Oh, sorry. Open the public hearing at 6:50.
I just want to say, after the berating of the seal, that I'm actually very proud to see the prohibiting of construction of data centers in Houston. For all the things Alaska and Houston should be known for, it's absolutely not data centers. So I appreciate this being made possible. So thank you.
I process thousands of documents. All those documents are stored in U.S. data warehouse centers. I have absolutely no issues, no slowdowns, no reason I can't access my documents. It works great. As said, Houston shouldn't be known for data centers. Anything that threatens our natural resources, our energy sources, where we already have high energy costs, should never even be a consideration. So thank you, Council Member Johansson, for putting this up. I appreciate it.
Anyone else have a comment on 26-11? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing at 6:52.
Okay, you guys aren't voting on this.
This is just the
Yeah.
first of two public hearings for this one. So,
Correct.
council, do we have
You can discuss it.
opinions, things to say? All right,
I do.
I do too, so go
I
ahead.
think it should go to community. It's a land use issue. I think that they should weigh in on it.
I agree. It should go through planning and zoning. The other thing is, at least, just my opinion. At one point along the way, we were talking about putting a limitation on the number of marijuana businesses in the city. We talked about we shouldn't have any more retail because they don't have the population to support it. We need businesses other than marijuana in the city. Since then, this is the second topic of non-marijuana related businesses that have come before the council, which we have opposed. We don't want recycling in the city, and now we don't want data centers in the city. So we'll add it to the list of things: marijuana, recycling, and now data centers that we don't want in the city. I mean, I don't understand at what point an acceptable business comes along that we say we would like around here. It's just my opinion.
I'm glad that you brought that.
Don't forget about wind farms.
Oh, that's true too. I'm sorry, number 4, wind farms.
Oh, I have just a quick, I have a quick comment on the data centers. I think it's appropriate to address some, but to say all data centers, I mean, we have currently a data center technically at the cell tower out there now. So I think it's a little bit overboard to say all data centers and all sizes. I mean, I certainly see us looking at an approach that at a certain size and a certain thing, maybe if there's a limit, but as far as for the power issue, the feds have just authorized like a huge coal-fired plant to be built over there to take care of virtually the entire valley and lower part of Alaska's electric needs. So power is not going to be an issue for it. And there's some other, I guess before I would get on just banning things, I would like to see a better study done on what sizes that wouldn't be compatible with the city versus all of them.
I mean, I've read this one very closely, and there's an exemption. Like what you're calling out is what could be considered a data center is exempted in the way this is written. I don't remember exactly where it was, Lisa, but there was a provision in there that's if it's self-serving, essentially, a business's own server closet isn't subject to this. And I think that's what would really apply to the folks that run the cell tower. But yeah.
So I have been doing some research on this, and my main question was throughout the whole entire United States, why are there so many data centers being put up? And they're being put up quickly. It seems like they're being kind of shoved down communities' throats, whether they want them or not. Why is that? So I did some digging, and in my research that I've done, I found that not only does it help with administrative paperwork, that clerical type of positions, as a country, we need to stay up to date with the rest of the world on a military forum, I guess, as technology and such as drones, even the use of robots and different things in other countries, you see these things coming out. But to keep up with all this data that the military needs to keep our country safe is one of the reasons they said these data centers would be put in place. Second of all, there's going back to 22, there in the Infrastructure Act under Biden administration, there is a section in there for the 2027 vehicles, 2027 to 2028 vehicles. And from what I've been learning, these new vehicles coming out will be our judge, jury, and executionists out on the road. They will be able to scan our irises. They will be able to tell if you've been drinking. They'll be able to tell if you're fit to drive, which in some cases I can see that being all right. But for example, if there was a lady in Anchorage that was being chased through the parking lot because somebody wanted to rob her wallet, and she jumps in her vehicle all frazzled and worked up, and the car won't start now because her irises look weird. Now she's a sitting duck. Not only that, but it's very invasive in our privacy. And I feel like these data centers are going to accumulate all of this information that along with the flock cameras going up all over the country, and they're gonna compile all this information, and you're never gonna be able to go anywhere without the government being able to track you. But that's just my opinion. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I just feel like there's more to the story than what we're being told. And I feel like there's a lot of research that needs to be done. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
I think it's healthy to be skeptical and distrusting of government overreach. So from that perspective, yeah, I think we could all agree on that. So just something to consider, comparing how we treat a particular type of business versus another. We do have pot shops on every corner. Now we move on a residential street, and they stink up our air every winter. So if we're going to scrutinize the data center and just all out ban them before even taking them on a case-by-case basis, let's just consider what we've already allowed and what we're continuing to allow.
So I am definitely not anti-business. I am for businesses that fit in with what we have here in Houston. Just in an article published the other day in regards to the city birthday, it was stated that city leaders say Houston has maintained its small town character despite growth, emphasizing volunteerism, rural living, and community involvement. Rural living right there. We live out here because we're away from the hustle and bustle. We have the wildlife in our backyards. We have a fair amount of space between us and our neighbors. We don't live out here to have a large center that's making noise and lighting up the sky and has extreme security measures in some cases. And of course, coming from the safety point of view, generally it's described that the centers aren't especially dangerous. They're what's called high smoke, low heat, generally low fire risk, except a number of hazards do exist, including the fuel storage for emergency power generators, flammable chemicals used in HVAC, and liquid-based chip cooling systems. And the biggest one is the lithium ion based energy storage system used for backup power supplies. Last year, or in September, there was a battery explosion at a South Korean data center, and that fire halted more than 600 online government services, including tax, postal, and mobile ID systems, and nearly 200 firefighters needed 10 hours to bring the blaze under control. Batteries were also involved in a 2021 fire at a center in France that destroyed the entire building and 30,000 servers. And they were blamed for a pair of fires at a Virginia center last September. We don't have the resources in Houston and the surrounding area, even with mutual aid, for something on that scale. And then Alaska overall, this is a whole new ballgame with Alaska and the centers. And recent studies have shown that these centers generate massive amounts of excess heat, so much so that they form their own heat islands. These heat islands can warm the surrounding area by up to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Our ecosystem, as we all know, the permafrost, we already have the fastest warming area in this part of the world. Is that a risk we're willing to take for our little town? Right now, Alaskans have few protections against the potential environment, health, and economic impacts of data centers. During the last legislative session, SB 250, a bill that would have provided protections for ratepayers and environmental safeguards, it passed the Senate, but it didn't make it to the House floor for a vote before the session ended. So that leaves Alaskans with no way to really fight what the centers could possibly bring. So I'm not anti-business. I'm just anti-bringing something into our little town that doesn't really serve us. It's not going to give us jobs. It might bring some construction during our short construction season, but after that, these centers really don't need personnel to run them or anything. The main people who would be affected by it is on the west side of town, which would be down Miller's Reach Road, back behind Bacchus and stuff, because that's where the heavy industrial, light industrial areas are. And I just think it's something safety-wise and isn't the best fit for our town. And we need to protect what we have while we still have it, because once it's gone, it's gone. That's it. We can't get it back. So that is my reasoning for bringing this up. And as was stated previously, we aren't voting on it tonight. I wanted to make sure we had 2 public hearings because of the way I had to introduce it at the last meeting, so.
I have a couple of things that I'd like to say on this one. You know, the computing requirement for a place like what we're talking about, first of all, I'm not aware of anybody trying to put a data center in Houston.
No,
right?
No, there's not.
Okay, so we're essentially addressing a problem we don't have yet. And we got plenty of problems that we could be addressing. Secondly, the computing power that these things generate is not coming out of nowhere. I mean, I'm 25 years in an IT career, and I spent the first 15 years helping businesses replace their on-premises servers. They had a closet, they replaced them with newer equipment, you migrated into the new stuff. In the last 10 years, that's not happening anymore. Those servers that are sitting in all these businesses' back closets aren't getting replaced anymore. They're being migrated to the cloud. And the cloud is not an imaginary place. The cloud is a data center that physically sits somewhere, but it's an offset. When you look at the way that these disparate data centers along every business, you've got a guy that runs a construction company, an ice cream shop, and a guy that does paving. They don't know anything about computers. They buy the server that somebody tells them to buy. It sits in the back room, and 95% of the time, it's either idle and consuming power, or it is working and consuming power. But when you take these things, you remove them from 50 locations around the city and aggregate them into one data center, people look at this data center and they say, look how much power it's going to eat. It's going to eat less power than the 50 little backroom server closets that it's replacing. Now, yes, it's a silo. It's all in one place. It's something that's easy to point at and say, I don't like this. But the reality of it is we're taking a greater evil and replacing it with a lesser one. Now, I don't think the power grid here could support a data center on the scale of what we're talking about. 20 megawatts? There's no way we could support that here. I totally agree with that. But I just want people to understand that this isn't, people, it's very easy to say, okay, somebody wants to build a data center and it must be because ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever needs an AI data center to run and they're pushing this down our throats and they're going to watch what we're doing. It's not. It's mom and pop's virtualized servers that run their finance software for their business that ends up in these. AI data centers are specific built. They are built to do that and nothing else. And most of the data centers in the United States are not AI data centers. They are aggregate data centers for people's infrastructure that doesn't exist. So on a larger scale, it is a net gain for us. These things use less power when they're aggregated, less cooling when they're aggregated, less of a footprint when they're aggregated. It just is what it is. These things are going to go somewhere. Now, I agree, we're probably not the place to put them. But it's just, I just want everybody to understand that the power consumption and the heat being generated is already exists. It's just being put into a giant bucket that makes it easier to point at. That's a data center.
And you can wait till the very end. Yeah, for public comment at the very end. We may not have anybody coming in right now, knocking on our door asking about this, but as we've seen in the borough and what the assembly has been working towards and what they've been looking at considering with the center, the people have, I think, made it pretty clear that this is definitely a hot button issue that people want to address before it gets into their neighborhoods or their city, their town, whatever you have it. So I do think it is important to put the cart before the horse in some situations. And I think this is one of them where we really need to consider, especially when we're making statements about our city and the rural living and why people live out here, what we want to bring into our environment. So.
Just reiterate, still needs to go through planning and land use. There's some. That's just part of the process. Skip that. How is this even going to go through?
What would we push through planning and zoning? There's not a person coming requesting anything.
So well, good point.
We can't vote on it that way, like you guys.
Well, we have a committee for the airport. Why shouldn't there be a committee for this to establish facts before such a significant decision on outright ban one way or the other? Something to consider. We've got till next month to think about these things.
Would it help if we set up a work session and maybe have some people that are involved in the data world from the state come speak with us?
I can't understand him. It's all jumbled to me.
He asked if it would help if you guys had a work session with some people from the state that were involved with data centers, or even the ins and outs, I guess, and speak with you guys at a work session.
I don't know if there's really anybody in the state that would be qualified for that. Though. Yeah.
Well, I know Governor Dunleavy's office has been looking at the data centers and trying to do data centers in Alaska. And I don't know if they have information that would help us understand what the state's trying to accomplish. And I do think you're probably right, Councilmember Jans. A lot of it's military driven, for sure.
All right. So any other opinions? We're not voting on this one tonight, so we can, I mean, as long as everybody's done, we can
Yeah.
just move on.
I'm good for tonight.
Everybody
Yeah.
good?
I'll just say one last thing. I think it's really important. I submit because of my background in tech, I have some preconceived ideas.
Mhm.
Very open-minded.
Oh, I knew you too.
Right.
But
And no, yeah, and that, exactly, getting the other opinions and stuff, yeah.
I mean, I have been involved in data center builds outs from somebody pointing at a plot of grass to full-blown connectivity all the way up. I have opinions as well. All right. Moving on to ordinance 26-12, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code Title 6 Animals in full, as well as portions of HMC 1.16.030, disposition of scheduled offenses, fine schedule, HMC 2.36.025, Public Safety Director, HMC 4.01.050, revenue policies, and HMC 4.05.020 annual budget for the purpose of removing responsibilities and civil penalties for enforcement of animal code. I will make a motion to approve ordinance 26-12. Oh, no, I won't. I will open the public hearing for 26-12 at 7:15. Anyone? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing at 7:16. And now I will make a motion to approve ordinance 26-12.
I'll second.
Is your mic on, Dan?
Got one? Yeah, I just want her to hear you. Really quiet, 'cause you sit way back.
Testing.
It's gotta be.
You guys have any discussion?
Not on my end.
I have something to say. So I know we're going from city animal control to the borough. Are you guys gonna be posting on the city site the numbers, people that we need to contact, so everybody's aware of that? I mean, I'm sure you can just look it up, but I mean, just,
We will keep the
Make
animal
sure
control
everybody's-
page on the website so people can get the information, both their website link and their phone number.
Anything else?
That's all.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 26-12, an ordinance of the Houston City Council amending Houston Municipal Code Title 6 Animals in full, as well as portions of HMC 1.16030, disposition of scheduled offenses, fine schedule, HMC 2.36.025, Public Safety Director, HMC 4.01.050, revenue policies, and HMC 4.05.020, annual budget for the purpose of removing responsibilities and civil penalties for enforcement of animal code. Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis,
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney,
aye.
Councilmember Johansson,
Aye.
Councilmember Khan,
Aye.
Mayor Cole,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right. That brings us to another audience comment section. 3 minutes per person on any topic that makes you happy.
All right, so just a couple comments. I used to always joke that Alaska is about 20 years behind when describing it to anyone from out of state. With trucks from 97, I guess that's a little bit longer and not as funny now, but that is possibly very true. I'm all against big government, all for small government to a certain extent, because oftentimes individuals in big and small government are very often greedy and make very dumb decisions that don't think about the long term. Also, too, marijuana shops and recycling centers are very different to data centers. Those two things before actually employ people, whereas the other one takes jobs away. I'm 31 years old. I am very tech-minded, but I am all for the hardworking people who build code, not just let it take over. And if the government wants it so bad, they can build it on their bases. They can build it in their forts. If they want it, they'll build it somewhere where it's protected from the general public, not somewhere out here. Maybe one point we will get to being able to have data centers, but there are not enough regulations to protect our land and the people who are currently living around them. There's just no control over that. Like I said, I'm against big government, but I also believe that there are sometimes greedy individuals that take advantage of that and ruin it for everyone else. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to take a 5-minute recess before we move on to the consent agenda. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You've been brightly colored today. I don't know how I missed you.
Right? Just real quick, I respect the fire department. What you guys did Monday was just awesome, as you do all the time. And I understand the need for your funding and all of that. I get all that. I get concerned when I see this big group of money always being allotted to something else when there's a lot of residents that could use some natural gas again, keep our costs down. If we're going to be bringing in new subdivisions, because I think that's what's going to happen, they're going to want natural gas. So I think we need to be looking at all kinds of aspects instead of just one small section when we're divvying out money. So thank you.
We got to do it now if you can do it.
First one, are we actively hiring for the Director of Public Works? I did not see the job posting as of this morning on the website, so I was just curious if we are hiring to fill that.
Carter?
We are going to be, it is not posted yet. It'll be posted on Monday.
Okay. CIP items, when we go to talk about the roads, I would like to request that we give a lot of consideration to how these roads are being developed. If anybody's driven the Cherry Lake Karen intersection, they see that the pavement is actually getting chewed away because of the way it was designed on the corner. People are going through the ditch. Come wintertime, they're sliding around the corner because it's almost more than a 90-degree bend. So I would like to ask that when we do look at other roads projects, we take these things into consideration. And even to the extent of, do we have walking paths? I have a lot of people that want to walk. There's nowhere to walk on the road. So I would ask that we look at all those things. Businesses, restaurants. You asked the question. So I'd like to see some restaurants. Can we go think about what small town people want? You know, do we have like farmers markets in the summer where you can collect a table booth plus sales tax? Places that sell small homemade goods, fishing shops, hobby shops. You know, what do small towns want? And we can start focusing on developing some of those things. One of the bigger things though that I wanted to touch on, and I'm not sure how to do it because I don't work in the government section, I work in the public sector. So we have the basic needs that we need met. We need roads, we need fire, we need safe neighborhoods, clean neighborhoods. My neighborhood looks like a ghetto, and I'm not joking. If you have never seen it, please get out of your neighborhood, go drive in some of the other neighborhoods. There's trash all over the roads. There's cars that are sticking out in the road right now. Right now, as we speak, there's a car that's sticking out in the road. It's been there for 2 weeks. The masses of accumulation on these properties, it's just getting out of hand. And I know that we have all these projects that we want to do, but when do we actually get back to the foundations of we need good roads, we need safety, we need clean neighborhoods? And that's how we're going to grow this infrastructure that's going to support a good government. So I would appreciate if you guys would start thinking about those things. How can we clean this place up? I never hear anybody talking about dumpsters, you know, or what we can do to get people to bring their trash in. So appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
If there's a minute there, I wouldn't mind addressing, there's been 3 places this spring cleaned up by Public Works now that we've had dump truck and trailer. So the changes that were just requested are actually happening this year.
All right.
Who heard that and understood it? You could repeat that for me, please.
Through the deputy mayor. So what he was talking about was a lot of the concerns that Ms. Nelson brought up are being addressed this year. They have not made it to her neighborhood yet. What was being focused on first was Wonderland, Leprechaun area, where there were some abandoned vehicles. Those have been pulled out. Down in the bottom of No Name Hill, some more abandoned vehicles have been pulled out. It is on the radar for your neck of the woods, because especially that one specific property that you're talking about that is a significant problem. Let's just leave it that it'll involve engaging with other agencies that the city has to work with to correct that specific property, but it is in the plans.
No one else? Awesome. I'd like to take a 5-minute recess, so I'll make a motion that we take a 5-minute recess.
Second.
All those in favor?
I
Okay, 5-minute recess. 7:35, 36.
7:36. Okay, next up is the consent agenda. Somebody other than me want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
It's wow.
Carter, would you like to second that?
Sure.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Councilmember Khan,
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson. Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis,
Aye.
Mayor Cole,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
No minutes, no unfinished business, new business. So just introductions, yeah?
No, new business. You're passing these. You're voting on those. I shouldn't say you're passing them, you're voting on those.
It's 26:11. No, my thing's wrong. All right. Resolution 26-11. Is out of order in the packet. Yeah. A resolution of the City of Houston, Alaska, supporting the permitting and creation of a fire break road across BLM land from King David Road to the Zero Lake Subdivision Road, and authorizing the city to seek funding in conjunction with the Division of Forestry.
I can speak to that if you'd like.
Please.
No, you need a motion to approve. I'm a second.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution, whatever it was,
2611.
2611.
I'll second.
Okay, now you can discuss.
Okay, this is driven out of a need up there at Zero Lake for the residents that live around Zero Lake. I'm trying to get them a permanent pathway out of a good road system in and out of there. And I looked at it several different ways. BLM has some property up there. They're most likely, if the government body is in favor of doing it, granting the permit and granting the funds to do it. And both the National Fire and our local chief would like to see that fire break road go in there as a way to slow and stop fire progressing both in and out of the city. So this is like the first step of many that would have to take. And this is basically saying, yeah, we would like to do this if somebody wants to help fund it.
So I mean, is the idea a fire break or is the idea a road? Please.
Both. It's a combination of.
Through the deputy mayor, this is Chief Hartley. So the purpose of this, the biggest example I can use to, or give to people that have been in Houston for a while is Hawk Lane started out as a fire break trail after Village Reach Road because there was no secondary or egress for the people that lived in the Beaver Lakes area. This is the same idea for this concept. It would start out as a fire break trail, develop slowly, would be wide enough and large enough that it could become a road in the future, but it's a pathway large enough to allow for emergency evacuations if people needed it, and to create a fire break of the size of the section line right away, so that we can put in resources to stop a fire at that spot. So there is no like plan yet. What the idea is that this is to show that the State of Alaska Division of Fire and Division of Forestry and Fire Protection and the U.S. Forest Service that the local jurisdiction supports putting this in because it's right along their property line. So then they could find grants at the national level to make this happen so that the burden again does not encumber on our residents.
We have a fire break on Kenmar that the city made, that now a private citizen is blocking the access on that fire break to the property they're developing, which hindered the response to a fire call down there this season. So will the city be able to prevent something like that from happening on this fire break? Just a citizen being able to block a fire break like that?
That would be a public works question, which we don't have a public works director. The fire breaks should not be blocked. There's also another property that I have to deal with that a person has blocked off an egress route.
Fire break on Kenmar there is blocked off by a private citizen. And the blocks that they use interfered with the response of the call we had. So I'm just wondering if that's going to be addressed with this also. We shouldn't be putting in fire breaks that end up being used and blocked by private citizens.
Yeah, plus it's a section line. The fire break that you're talking about on the south side of Station 92 is the section line. So it should not be blocked.
Anybody else? Kent, Jason? All right.
I just have a question. So I'm looking on the map here, and King David Road, it looks like it comes to a dead end. And is that what you're going to extend that all the way up to this Zero Lake Road?
Yes, and it would
Zero Lake
tie into, yeah, it would tie into that, the property and the road that's up there currently.
Okay.
And all the people around the Zero Lake that I've heard from are all in favor of it. So we have asked Mr. Blair, who had been into the council multiple times, asking for us to do something for him. All of his subdivision there, folks that own it, are, as far as I've been made aware of by Mr. Blair, they're all in support of it.
Which, just for the reference for the council, if the deputy mayor okay with it, it's the Houston Lakes subdivision, which is around Zero Lake itself. The only exit from that, if there was a wildfire, is one very beaten trail that basically would qualify as a dog mush trail.
Ready? Motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution number 26-11, a resolution of the Houston City Council, Alaska, resolution of the City of Houston, Alaska, supporting the permitting and recreation of a fire break road across Borough of Land Management land from King David Road to the Zero Lake Subdivision Road and authorizing the city to seek funding in conjunction with the Division of Forestry. Councilmember Lewis,
Aye.
Councilmember Johansson. Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Councilmember Khan,
Aye.
Mayor Cole,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Brazel.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, moving on to resolution 26-12. A resolution of the Houston City Council accepting and adopting the Little Susitna Park and Campground Conceptual Master Plan prepared by Corvus Design and authorizing implementation of all phases of the plan. I'll second.
My first question would be, where is the plan? What am I voting on? There's nothing there. Yeah.
That
It's
was
just
my
a
first
resolution.
question.
I'm not voting on something I can't see.
Oh, I think Charlie's getting you the map or something.
Whatever it is, they should have had it.
Yeah, it should have been in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take 2 minutes to look at something
Right.
and then vote.
You want to push it to July 9th?
Yep.
Which I believe means you have to pull your motion, right? Just to pull the
No.
motion to approve?
No, you just vote it down. Or move it. Amend it.
What is the item again?
Resolution number 26-12 is what we're on.
Uh,
And there's no supporting information in the packet at all, just the resolution.
Yeah, it's just the resolution.
I saw the size of that, so, I need to postpone until July 9th.
I'll second that.
You can just table it if you want.
Well, what's the impact on it is what I want to know.
What'd you say, Carter?
I'm trying to make sure is what item is on that resolution?
Mayor Cole, it's the fact that there's no backing
It's the
documentation.
design. There's no, the design's not with it.
For what? What item though?
The Little Sioux Park, the Little Sioux Campground and Park design, the master plan.
Oh, the master plan was not given to the council? Yeah, we could postpone it, but it, the master plan is actually been in the public like 5 times now.
Yeah.
And it's the final document that was given at the, I believe it was planning and zoning the other night.
Can you repeat what he said? I can't.
The master plan has been in the public 5 times already. You can postpone it, but it's been in the public 5 times already. It hasn't changed. We're just at the point where it's time to approve or not. Charlie has copies of it.
Well, there's a motion on the table.
Well, he's talking. He talked to the, I know.
Well, let me just tell the council, if we postpone it and don't do any action on it, it's going to stop us from being able to go get funding for the phases. And we're already in the summer months. I mean, this really should have been wrapped up a couple months ago, but it took that much longer to go through the public process.
And for any audience members, the plan is directly behind me on the wall.
Yeah, I don't want to just skim this and vote.
Yeah, I have not seen any of this.
Yeah.
So I do not.
There's a motion and second to postpone floating out there.
April 26th, final draft.
I know, that's why you guys are discussing it, so make sure everyone has said their piece.
And I apologize, I don't know how the plan was not distributed to the council. That was a definite no-no.
That's your call, you're gonna call it. You're gonna call it, is everybody done?
Yeah. Are you, everybody? No more discussion?
I'd like to continue going towards the postpone route.
That's the motion that's on the table.
That's the
Yeah.
motion that's on the table,
Because it's
but
cleaner.
everyone needs to,
We
Right,
just need to
right,
be
right.
sure everybody's
Just if-
done saying their piece, you know?
In case anybody's gonna ask me to retract that.
no one's asking you to retract anything.
Okay. Well, we had some additional discussion. I just wanted to be clear.
Motion's been made and seconded to postpone resolution number 26-12, a resolution of the Houston City Council accepting and adopting the Little Sioux Sitna Park and Campground Conceptual Master Plan prepared by Corvus Design and authorizing implementation of all phases of the plan. Councilmember Courtney,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Nay.
Councilmember Johansson.
Aye.
Councilmember Khan,
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis,
Aye.
Mayor Cole,
No,
Deputy Mayor Brazel,
Aye.
motion carries 5 yeas, 2 nays.
Right, I believe that takes us to our last audience comments. 3 minutes on anything you'd like to talk about?
I just had some questions. I love the park and campground idea. I think it's absolutely fabulous. But I had some questions as far as, or food for thought, of how will the area be protected from potential degenerates that will absolutely find it and potentially leave hazardous materials around in the form of needles, pot, alcohol bottles, anything like that. Is there any kind of forethought put in front of that? Because we are Alaska, we are out in the woods, we are not perfect. There are a lot of degenerates out here that would easily ruin things. Bumpus Ball Fields recently got tagged a couple weeks ago. Are there any plans in place to just monitor that without kids feeling like they can't go and be kids in this area. How much revenue is expected to be generated from the campgrounds, just some more info, again, I guess, on. The only thing I've seen as a citizen is just seeing the plans being voted for and then presented on Facebook, and cool, we voted, found a decision, and then nothing else is really put in place as far as the long-term plans. Is it going to have events in the winter, or is it going to sit dormant and not do anything? I just have questions where it will go. I think it's absolutely wonderful and we need it, absolutely. Any town should have something like that to get kids outside and active and not cause trouble. Just have questions on the logistics of how it will kind of operate. So thank you.
I'd like to offer to that lady to come and see me in the office. I wouldn't put out right now in the public the security issues that we have plans, just so the bad guys don't know what they are, but there is some.
I think the summary of it was, come see me.
Next week. It's
Yeah.
make an appointment to see the mayor next week.
Anyone else? All right. Council clerk and mayor comments. Dan?
No, I don't really have anything at this point. No. Thank you, and enjoy the summer. You know what, I do want to commend the firefighters for an excellent job. I think that really brings the community together to know that they have that support. That's what it comes down to. Is are we providing our basic services? And I think it was a resounding yes. That's all I have.
Councilmember Courtney.
Okay, so I also was gonna thank the fire department. You guys are rock stars. You really are. You guys work your butts off, and you definitely don't get enough appreciation for it. So we thank you, and thank you. Thank you again for the logo entries. They're all really great. And I do want to apologize if it seemed unorganized. And hopefully going forward, if we have another event like that, it'll be more organized and everybody will know what's going on a little bit better. So thank you for your opinion and speaking. It's really great to see new faces in here. So we hope you can join us again. I attended the birthday party on Saturday, and I enjoyed listening to all of the stories of our speakers from way back when the city first started and having executive sessions in bathrooms, and all of the stories that were told that day were really great. And I'm glad that I got to witness that and listen to those stories, and it makes me want to know more about the history of our town. So other than that, have a good night.
Councilmember Johansson.
I would like to say thank you to everybody who participated in the community cleanup. I saw quite a few people out there along the Parks Highway, in the neighborhoods, picking up trash, people out there with their kids and stuff, which I love to see that. So a big thank you. I will say though, we did have people abuse the program and the dumpster. There is one lady from Big Lake who posted on Facebook about bringing her household trash to our Houston dumpsters. So that's very disappointing and infuriates me a bit, but I do thank everybody who took the time out of their day to help clean up after the winter that we had and everything. So thank you very much. I'd like to thank everybody who came out to the city celebration. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I had a prior engagement with my family, but I heard that everybody who was here had a really good time and that the food presented by Miss Courtney was fabulous, which I'm not surprised if you haven't had her cupcakes. Oh, they're delicious. Congrats to everybody who participated in the logo contest. Your chickadee, I love birds to begin with, so I will put that out there, but your chickadee just makes me smile. The lupin that's in there too, like one of my favorite plants. So you did a fabulous job. Thank you for letting us know your thoughts on the whole process though, because we can't fix things if we don't know what's broken. So I really appreciate you coming out and giving us your thoughts on all of that went down. And a thank you to everybody tonight who came up and spoke. And that goes for my fellow council members. Even if I don't agree, I want your opinions. I want to hear what you have to say. So thank you very much for everybody that comes out and for everybody that also watches on YouTube, because I usually get a bunch of emails and texts next day with people's opinions on what went down. So thank you for that. And just one last thing. It was brought up in public comments in regards to my amendment on the budget in terms of money for the fire department and the gas. We're talking several $1,000,000 versus a couple $100,000 for some land sales, and that couple $100,000 can help the fire department buy 2 new engines, get us new ladders, get us new hose, and most importantly, we need new radios. The borough switched over to digital communication, and in every single apparatus we have, the radios do not work. So when I'm driving our rescue truck, if you haven't seen it, she's a pretty big beast. When I'm driving down the road code and trying to do my handheld because I don't have a fixed radio, it's a bit much. So we really need new communication equipment. So that's, and the public are, all of us in town, especially nowadays with the way prices are, we're already taxed to the max, and the borough's already talking about, new taxes here and there that they're going to be putting on the ballot. We want to serve you to the best of our abilities, but we also don't want to rip more money out of your pockets while we're trying to do that. So the land sale seemed like a pretty good way of being able to serve our community and get the things that we need, because at the end of the day, I also want to go home to my family after I serve my community. And so having new equipment and safe equipment will help me do that. So I appreciate my fellow council members for approving that amendment. And thank you.
Councilmember Mitchell? Councilmember Mitchell?
Yeah, I would just like to, first of all, thank the fire department for putting out the fire at the Rotary Park. I have property that borders that park, and so pretty thankful that my woods didn't burn down. So thank you guys, and thank you for the teens. I don't know if any parents are listening, but thank you for the teens that were there with the Bucket Brigade. That was awesome. So thankful that that didn't spread and burn down our awesome little park there at Rotary. So thank you for the quick work for the fire department, also the Bear Paw Fire. Just really appreciate the quick responses. So thank you guys for that. Thank you to the public that came out to share their comments tonight. Thank you to the city council members, the city employees, everyone that's working hard for the city. I just appreciate everyone. So thank you guys. Thanks for a great meeting tonight. Yeah.
Mayor Cole?
Yes, a couple things. First of all, I'd like to thank Deputy Mayor Brazel for quickly taking over the meeting. I didn't give him much warning, so I appreciate him stepping right in there and taking care of it. The other thing, the fire department, definitely, this is something Chief has been working on, talked me into getting behind it last year, and boy, is it working great, and I'm so glad that the second quick reaction truck passed, because I really believe what Chief has put together there is the way the future is going to go, and support and 100% support Lisa's effort of getting the fire department has got to get outfitted properly, and if we can get it done through the sale of property and nobody has to receive taxes, 100%. But I will tell you, if you take heat, I'll share it with you because I think it's a great idea. That's it.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody that came out to the, we had a very scaled back Zero Lake cleanup this year because thanks to the residents, it didn't need much cleaning up. So we had one public works person and a handful of folks from the community that came up. In a few hours, we got most of that out of there. One of the big things that we went to get was a burned out slide-in camper that goes in the back of a pickup. By the time we got there, it was gone. I don't know how it was gone. So it was a lot easier than we thought it was going to be this year. So thanks for that. I did go to the birthday celebration and ended up absconding with a box of cupcakes. So that was fantastic. Thank you. And we, just a reminder, we have a work session now that Founders Day is an official city holiday. We have a work session on this coming Tuesday, June 16th? Tuesday, June 16th at 6 p.m. here to try to flush out the details of Founders Day for this year. So you're welcome to come and have some input into that. And thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeff, what time is the work session?
6.
Is that for the council?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't come. I got training on Tuesdays.
You can email, if you have any ideas or suggestions, just email them to me.
The fire department doesn't want to do it all anymore.
All right. And you said you have nothing?
I-
All right. Then we will adjourn at 8:09.
Thanks, everyone.